The practice of O yoga can take you into a state of flow, orgasmic flow. When you combine O yoga, meditation, and self-pleasure, you create the perfect conditions to retrain your subconscious mind. An intention is given life and power in a state of orgasmic flow. Even if you repeated your intention 100 times a day, your conscious remembers it, but your subconscious still reverts to its default programming. When you are in a state of orgasmic flow, your intention can be burnt into the subconscious mind very quickly. Why and how? Research now confirms that when you are in a state of flow, you have access to your inner knowing, your inner genius, which means near-perfect decision-making. Flow is also a state of perpetual renewal. Flow is a healing state. It is a state free from worry, anxiety, and depression. Your stress levels are decreased, which means damaging hormones like cortisol are decreased, and instead other hormones are pumping through your body. Oxytocin, dopamine, testosterone, serotonin, hormones that keep you young, alive, and in a heightened energy state. Flow creates a one with state. When a sailor is at the helm, she becomes one with the yacht and the sea. She becomes in tune with the flow of the ocean and the wind. She doesn't fight it or go in the direction against nature that would create conditions that make it so much harder, and the engine would probably have to be switched on. When you are in a state of orgasmic flow, you let go of time, you let go of ego and identity. Orgasmic flow is like a magnifying glass for your intention. It becomes burnt into the subconscious mind, directing your life in subtle but powerful ways. So what is the best way to go into orgasmic flow? I find garland pose is the best. The upright position promotes blood flow to your genitals, which is important for fullness and engorgement for easy orgasms. In O yoga, we use support in garland pose. Try a bed or couch or armchair. The non-dominant arm rests on the support, and the knees can also rest open against the support. When you build to orgasm in supported garland, the energy will cause your body to naturally rise up to stand. It is very dynamic and promotes the flow of energy up the chakras. When our life energy is activated through orgasm in garland pose, all the chakras are activated, especially the crown chakra. This is the key to opening to inspirations. After all, orgasms are for inspiration. The openness of supported garland gives you easy access to your clitoris and vulva, so that you can relax supported by your prop while self-pleasuring to build orgasm. Truly the best way to go into orgasmic flow through multiple orgasm. You literally flow from orgasm to orgasm. And of course, always set your intention for the energy you build. It makes it easier if you listen to one of my guided intimate inspirations meditations and let the inspiration flow. So what if you can't reach orgasm? It's okay. It is the state of flow that is more important. Relax, breathe, melt into the moment and let go. Let go of any expectations, shoulds and shouldn'ts. The process is a part of the journey. Experiment, meditate, have some fun, and never ever put yourself under pressure to orgasm. Pressure is the surest thing to scare orgasms away. It may take time, so find yourself a private place, put on your most loved and inspiring music or an intimate inspiration meditation. Alternate between gallant pose, tree pose and reclining butterfly. In the beginning, you may wish to just stay in reclining butterfly until you can completely let go and relax. So why don't you do that now? Lay down with the soles of your feet together, knees butterflied out, and place pillows under both knees. Experiment with self-massage and self-pleasure. If any feelings of guilt or shame arise, question your thoughts. Question if they are true and really serving you. Remember, this is a self-love practice, a spiritual practice of connection. Honor your need for pleasure. Honor your need to spend time with yourself. Honor your body. And honor your intention. I maintain and respect my boundaries. Are you de-selfing and over-functioning? And why is a solid sense of self so important to your spirit and soul? To protect your energy, it's okay to cancel a commitment. It's okay to not answer that call. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to want to be alone. It's okay to take a day off. It's okay to do nothing. It's okay to speak up, and it's okay to let go. When you don't set personal boundaries, often it becomes evident when the last straw breaks the camel's back. You reach a point when you actually feel your spirit literally deflate. Why do we fail to set appropriate boundaries? And why don't we even realize until we feel our soul shrivel or cry out in the last-ditch effort to survive? How can we learn where our boundaries are and become vigilant at keeping them to keep our soul from bleeding and our spirit drained of energy? When we don't set boundaries, we actually de-self ourselves for the sake of pleasing others. This is more than de-selfing our ego. it involves our spirit and soul depression is the worst kind. We cannot love authentically when we don't define and set our boundaries. The first step is defining our boundaries to ourselves. If we can't tell ourselves what our boundaries are, how can we let others know and prevent others from crossing them? If you don't know what your personal boundaries are, take time to work on your values first. From here, you can work out your boundaries. The more you reinforce your boundaries, the stronger they will become, and you will be protecting your soul at its core. We are our own worst enemies when it comes to boundaries. An example of women finally acknowledging and beginning to set our boundaries is the Me Too movement. Yes, let the world know you have been violated as a woman, but also create and actively voice stronger boundaries. We violate ourselves when we let our boundaries be crossed. We sell our own soul to the devil because of fear of loss, job loss, financial loss, relationship loss, loss of approval. Start with the basic though. Every boundary that maintains your authenticity and your spiritual energy is important. You cannot control people's behavior, but you can let your own values and boundaries be known. No, I don't watch TV after 7 p.m. at night. No, I don't eat bread with dinner. No, I can't miss my lunchtime yoga session to go shopping with you. No, I don't tolerate hanging around people who complain and whinge as their main form of communication. Start with the smaller boundaries and build self-respect. It actually is harder to protect the boundaries that we perceive as less significant, but that does not make them any less important. Every boundary we set protects our integrity. Protect your spirit, be authentic to your soul. Set and maintain healthy boundaries. If your energy feels drained in crowds and loud concerts, don't give in just one time to please your boyfriend. Saying no is a boundary setter. No is a positively powerful word, and you are allowed to use it. We often let our boundaries be walked on because of fear of criticism and judgment. Guess what? People criticize, people judge. Your boundaries are far more important. You are not inflexible or frigid. Setting boundaries is a part of maintaining your solid sense of yourself. How often do you end or remove yourself from a relationship feeling drained? Now in hindsight, can you see where you haven't set healthy boundaries in that relationship? To not set boundaries is to lose your integrity. To not set boundaries is to lose yourself. You can actually feel yourself doing it, betraying yourself. For your spirit to soar, you need to set boundaries. To be turned on by life, you need to set healthy boundaries. Set your intention and let others know. Don't keep your boundaries a secret. They will save your soul. Otherwise, you will end up living a life that is not yours. You don't have to run or build fences to keep people out. Just maintain your integrity with boundaries. Without healthy boundaries, your soul hemorrhages until you either sink into depression or find resolve. I hope you find your resolve moment. It will be a turning point in your life and you'll never look back. Resolve creates bulletproof boundaries. Whatever triggers resolve will be the best gift you will ever receive. Turn the cup over and remember your moment. It is worth its weight in gold. Resolve. a turning of the cup experience, you will recognize it when it happens. You may feel like throwing in the towel. It feels like utter frustration. That frustration is you needing others to change. It is not them that needs to change. It is your boundaries that need to be reinforced. Your integrity that you need to protect. And with that comes respect. Respect from others, and more importantly, self-respect. How long will it take for you to strengthen your boundaries? Make it your intention, your intimate inspiration. When your boundaries are weak, your integrity is weak. Your health also becomes weak. An iridologist would call it your constitution, which is a very good description of the overall byproduct of not maintaining boundaries. Weak constitution. It can be strengthened instantly. When you engage your boundaries, you engage your immune system. I maintain and respect my boundaries. I maintain and respect my boundaries. I maintain and respect my boundaries. Orgasms are for inspiration. There is a direct energetic link. Boundaries not only strengthen your integrity and spirit, boundaries strengthen your mental and physical health instantly. Don't take my word for it, experience it for yourself. Integrity is not just a goody-goody word that you hear from preachers. Integrity and boundaries will save your soul, enlighten your spirit, and keep you in the realm of being turned on by life. It's a matter of respect, self-respect. You cannot create a solid sense of yourself through likes on social media. You're actually creating the opposite, which is a reflected sense of self. A reflected sense of self is a highly unstable, volatile, and dangerous thing. It is soul depleting. Self-love does not come from others loving you. Self-love comes from maintaining healthy boundaries and begins with self-respect. Yoga honors your body, mind, and soul. A consistent yoga practice sends messages of self-respect and self-honoring and affects you at a deep core level. Set your intention mindfully. A yoga practice is not about the tightest leggings or the most perfect pose. If you are still having trouble understanding your boundaries to create a solid sense of self, journaling about your feelings and experiences helps. Introspection, honoring your emotional response to people and situations. Journal about it to gain clarity. Journal about your values. Journal about what honors your bliss and positive experience of this life. This life is yours. Set your boundaries. If you consider yourself a spiritual person, it is even more important you look at your boundaries. Spiritual people are more accommodating, forgiving, and flexible. These are good values, but are open to boundary violations from others. Spiritual people are a shining beacon for energy vampires to take advantage of. Remember, it is your responsibility to maintain your boundaries, and it's your responsibility to stay turned on by life. So from today's intimate inspiration, I'd like you to create your own intention. What inspires you? After all, it is your integrity that is at stake here. It is your spirit and soul that can only be respected by you. I respect and maintain my boundaries. I respect and maintain my boundaries. Do you respect yours?